If you see this guitar, you'll automatically recognize the shape. This is a Strat style guitar and it's been famous since the invention of the electric guitar. But this is a guitar by Hex. It's called the E70 and it is a Strat style guitar in terms of the shape, but it's not exactly the same. And that's what Hex tries to do. They try to be innovative. They try to look at improving on certain design aspects. So what exactly is the difference in this? If you see it, the body of this is slightly bigger than your standard Strat. And if you see the headstock, we have an upgraded version from the older E300s that we used to have. So there are certain things that work with a Strat and they have kept that. Now this has an HSS configuration. Means you have a humbucker on the bridge, single coil on the mid and single coil on the neck. What that does is it gives you a little more flexibility. Now when it comes to the bridge, we've seen some guitars that have like a 2-point trem, for example your Super Strats, but Hex has stuck with this kind of bridge. Going for a volume plus 2 tone knobs, they've kept it much more simpler with just one volume and one tone. Now this tone controls all 3 pickups. It has a standard 5-way switch, which obviously lets you toggle between the pickups. So you can go from neck to neck plus middle, which is your typical twangy Strat sound. You go to the middle pickup, which is slightly underused, but again has got a nice sound to it. Then you go to your bridge and middle pickup, and this is an interesting combination because it has certain amount of gain to it, but at the same time it has the thinness of the middle pickup. And then of course you go to the bridge humbucker, and that's for your really thick high gain sounds. Now these are going to be ceramic pickups, but at the same time they are high quality, higher output ceramic pickups. So even though they are maybe not as well defined or as crystal clear as your Alnicos, you still have a decent amount of output which lets you tame your tone, whether you're using pedals, processors, or even if you're recording into a DAW where you have processing going on. So let's move on to the body. Now this is a mahogany body. Again, as I mentioned, it's slightly bigger than a normal Strat. So you're going to get a little more mass on this end of the spectrum. They've still stuck with these contours that you would see on a normal Strat. The lines flow actually quite smooth, even though it's an extended body. This again is a mahogany neck, and the fretboard is made of a material called Laurel. Now here's where again Hex has done something slightly different, where you see the neck is a slightly thinner neck. Even though Strats are known to have thin necks, thinner than your Les Pauls, and I think that's where Hex has kind of looked into making this a slightly more hybrid guitar, a hybrid between a Strat and a Super Strat, as opposed to just being a normal Strat style guitar. Now if you turn this, these don't feel like some cheap tuners. You don't feel any real resistance. They move very freely, which means that the gears inside here are properly well meshed together, they're well lubricated. And I like this attention to detail over here where they've given this little curve. And what that does, it just makes it easier to reach the higher frets. You don't find any kind of obstruction. And again, this is it might be a small detail, but it matters when it comes to the playability of the instrument. Again, coming back to the neck itself, the stainless steel frets on here mean that they're not going to wear off anytime soon. The fret finishing is really smooth, and there's something about Hex as a brand is they're very consistent with their workmanship, attentive to details like these, so that every guitar that you get has got a good neck finish. They've got good fret finishing. It feels good. The finish is not too glossy, it's not too rough. It's just in that perfect sweet spot. That's something that we've noticed with Hex. on all their products. The remaining is pretty standard. Again, your input jack is going to be a Strat style jack. Now these have chrome hardware and everything is chrome, so it's not like a mixture of anything. And of course, if you've seen the older version, the E100 and the E300, they had a different headstock style, and that was not favored by a lot of people. Some of them felt it was too bulky, it was too chunky, it was not aesthetically pleasing. And Hex has listened and they've come up with this slightly different, it's not exactly a Fender style headstock, but it's got that similar shape to it, and it's again aesthetically a little more pleasing to it. Now that could be subjective. In addition to just the guitar, you'll have certain accessories that you need. So firstly is the tremolo arm, so that comes with the guitar, and also an Allen key. Now this has a spoke wheel style truss rod, so it doesn't necessarily have an Allen key. It's more like a rod that lets you adjust the action. It's actually easier than your standard Allen key truss rods to adjust this. And you'll also get a smaller Allen key to adjust the height of the saddles. Now right off the bat, when you buy the guitar, it's already set up in terms of intonation and everything. Over time, you might feel the need to adjust the intonation or just the saddle height, depending on your preference, and also if you're changing string gauges. So a combination of the truss rod as well as these saddle heights will give you the perfect action without having too much fret buzz. In addition, you get a nice padded gig bag, and this is not just like a dust cover or anything, it's a proper padded bag that you can take around to your gigs, and it will keep your guitar nice and safe. It's got good neck protection. So that was the E70 by Hex. I hope this video helps you understand a little more about the guitar, and in case you're interested in getting it, you can decide on what kind of guitar you want. This hopefully helps you with that information. Let us know in the comments what are your thoughts on this guitar, and if you are interested in getting it, you can visit procraftindia.com. You can contact us via messaging, or you can just give us a call and we'll help you out with your E70.